what is the best way that you can be using AI for SEO? And if you put all the best SEO experts in a room, how would they answer that question? Well, we did just that. And in today's video, we're going to give you some of the best advice on how to use SGE, AI overviews, and changes coming in AI search.
How are you using AI in SEO, or you can define it as search visibility, web visibility for your clients today?
I'm not sure if we should continue to call it SEO when we're doing LLM optimization. So maybe it's AI optimization. The big question mark is to what extent, beyond having content that speaks positively about you out on the web, what should one do to train the LLM that it's either right or wrong in suggesting specific brands or solutions? And is that actually black hat or not?
First up, what are the challenges with using AI to generate content?
The challenge that comes with this, I think that the emperor has no clothes in a way. So if you look at the hard data, ChatGPT, to use anything from outside of their own database, they have to do the Bing search. But if you go now and search for the best noise canceling headphones 2024 in ChatGPT, it's going to go to Bing. Problem is that first 10, 12 websites block ChatGPT. So it's going to get something from position 14 from Bing, and I don't want to be offensive towards Bing. We love them. We work close with them, but I guess this is not the best result. I think the biggest challenge that we have, just kind of starting the conversation with this stronger statement, is everyone is so hyped out, and including myself a while ago, okay, search is going to change. But with every single website on the planet saying, we don't want to have anything to do with AI, and with 87% of publishers, just to mention one more data point, 4% that's not blocking ChatGPT actually have a licensing deal with ChatGPT. But I guess it comes from the underlying lack of trust.
Now, how are digital marketing agencies using AI?
You're part of the AI Council at Sear. What is kind of like the broader thought process that's going on behind the scenes there?
Everything is so rapidly changing and things really shift on a dime. When we're thinking about AI at Sear, we're thinking about it in two different ways. One is what we've just been talking about. There's so many potential shifts to how users are searching, and we don't know how things are going to end up. What we've been doing at Sear is trying to focus on tracking, because you can't optimize what you can't track. The other thing is with reporting. So we've made additions to our monthly reports, just trying to make sure we understand how much traffic from these AI engines is coming in on a monthly basis, and how is that going to shift over time? And when do brands need to start to care about that? There's a balance there. What we're trying to do is not make any sudden movements, and instead just think about incremental progress.
How can you avoid the hype and stay productive with AI?
We are actually, what we're going to do best is we're going to put together frameworks for us to be able to understand, and then for us to be able to predict. And ultimately, that's what's going to give us an edge, because wherever things go, we're actually maybe agnostic on what that looks like. But what we care about is being able to understand the moment the shoe drops and there's clear direction, there's good data to back it up, that we're in there. There's a concept called the hype cycle, which with the hype cycle is basically every new piece of technology comes out and it goes through this initial phase of anything is possible. And you get all of the ideas of how things can be. And this happens for everything. My favorite example is with 3D printing. We're like, you needed to have a 3D printer in your house. Maybe it was going to like enable you to go to space or something. I don't know. But then it gets out of the news, and what we realize is everything shifts from idea to needing to create. And we're seeing this with compute right now. I think kind of the shoe's dropping a little bit with a company like NVIDIA, where they're like, well, what actual commercial value is being generated by having all of these, effectively these servers and things? And we're seeing that with AI in terms of search results, where we're like, well, a lot of companies have no interest in actually allowing you to crawl their material. SGE gets, it's got parody articles about it every new week about some wild search. And so how reliable is this information? Even on SearchTides, we use ChatGPT a lot. We think it hallucinates for our uses around 25% of the time. So, and that's over like a pretty good data size. So ultimately, we're now seeing that, okay, well, now the actual production needs to catch up. And we're entering into what's called the trough of disillusionment, where you're like, oh, nothing works. And then we'll eventually get to what's called the plateau of productivity, which is kind of like where 3D printing is right now. We're printing pieces for the International Space Station on the ISS, but when's the last time you've heard an article about it? So I think we have some version of that to kind of go with this technology. And that's why what you're seeing agencies and client service folks understand the game, and the game is be able to win and adapt no matter what specific direction you go in. And that's why the way to do that is to do so in a proactive way.
How focused should you be? Should you focus on AI overviews?
We want there to be an easy answer, like this is good, this is bad, this is an opportunity, but it's all so different. And so when we started to get our hands on this zip tie data, we saw for some clients, especially in the healthcare space, if they're asking a question that invites a click, so it's something like, why is my nose running, but I don't feel sick? The AI overview is good, but it might not fully answer that. And we saw traffic go through the roof. Now, what happens with that traffic? Does it convert? It's hard to say. But then you see other clients ranking for AI overviews for keywords that are huge in volume, like 50,000 searches a month, and they've got nothing for it because maybe it's a simple definition and the user gets what they need from the SERP. And so there's so much nuance in all of this. It's really hard at this point to say to any client, even, yes, go hard after AI overviews or go hard after ChatGPT, because even on a query level, the opportunity is going to be different.
It's incredibly likely that AI overviews, formerly SGE, will become really, really good because Google isn't going to get blocked by websites when it's trying to crawl their websites. And so they will eventually have 9 or 10 times the amount of data. In fact, New York Times is not only not blocking them, they're hitting them up and they're like, hey, we just want to make sure you can still access our website properly.
Will SEO expand beyond Google, or will Google remain king?
I think it's a really good question. If you think back to before all the AI hype, what a lot of people were saying is TikTok is the new Google and that's going to take over. And that's how young people are searching now and all this stuff. I think brands are going to have a very hard time walking away from attribution. And so to that end, I think we're going to linger in the Google space, even as like the pool gets lower and lower. We're going to stay there because the attribution is, for better or for worse, better than a lot of these other models. So I think Google continues to be a force. Does it continue to have 90% market share over all other engines? Probably not. But even if it dips down to 70%, if that's where people are going towards the end of the funnel, I think there's still probably going to be a lot of money to be made on Google.
What's the danger with hyper-focusing on attribution?
I'm concerned for marketers who are stuck on the attribution element. The reality is that the content that's being ingested within the LLMs intersects with so many other elements of one's brand presence, right? So everything you're investing into social media, everything you're investing into influencer marketing, everything you're investing into content co-creation with partners and with getting your testimonials from clients, all of this stuff, digital PR, traditional PR, sponsoring events, as a primary sponsor, doing a big donation to a nonprofit at their gala, all of this stuff is feeding the LLMs. If you are hyper-focused on attribution, and you don't think about all these other things and the fact that they may make sense even in their own silos, like I should be doing social media and I should be doing influencer marketing. But if you're not taking into account the extra halo effect that these things are having on your LLM visibility, then you're undervaluing those things.
What are your predictions for the future of AI?
I actually think that there will be a resurgence in the importance of humanity and human-generated content. And I think a lot of companies will miss that because they got so excited about the shiny object of an LLM being able to generate content that they forgot that some of the best content is generated by humans. The pendulum will swing back where human-generated content will be at a premium in multiple channels and in multiple ways, because not only does it feed the LLM, and not only does the LLM consider human-generated content to be really, really important, but to some extent, there will be a greater level of trust that is conveyed as a result of the human raising their hand and saying, no, I wrote this, I take responsibility for this. I actually do prefer this toothpaste or this electric SUV. And I'm willing to go on record as saying that.
Amazing content. Before we let you go though, I'm curious how you're using AI. It's been around, there's been a lot of pressure to adopt it, and I wanna know what you're doing. We're gonna be making more videos about AI, marketing, and search, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.